Alright, so I did get a response from Benji. I responded back, and then I waited. And then I resent the email, and I waited. And it's been like a while now. So I guess this is just where we're going to leave it. I'm going to make this final video. My wife is then going to make her video, which she is going to make on her own, in her own way, and it's going to be posted on here. But here's basically where everything is right now. The only thing that was apologized for by Benji Nolo and Exodus Cry was the adoption. Everyone universally agrees that that was a bunch of nonsense. It should have never happened. However, in the PDF that he sent me, he made the statement that if he knew that I had autism, or if he knew that my wife had autism, that he would have treated me differently. Does this mean differently? Like I would have been allowed to read the questions before you ask them, or be in the room while you interview my wife who is traumatized, or is this different treatment? Like you wouldn't threaten me, threaten to come and like take my family away from me? Is this different treatment that you would have gotten me a counselor like we asked, that we would have gotten my wife like properly diagnosed like we asked? Like 2 different IHOP leaders approached you and talked to you about, yet we were the ones who were being insensitive and crazy and all of this stuff. We came to you and asked over and over and over and over again to get a person besides Keisha to take a look at me and my wife, and you refused because my wife was special, and it was just trauma, that's all it was. And also, just for clarification, if I knew, I'd use the word safe house in my videos, but what Exodus Cry called a safe house was a lighthouse. So I had no idea what it was. Like there was no context there, and it wasn't explained to me. That is why I was so upset at that. I mean, with all that was showing, you would be too. But to say you would treat us differently because we have autism infuriates me. Keisha noticed autism in both my daughters before anyone. She was the first one to notice. How then did she spend countless hours with my wife and not know? There's no scenario in which that she was not hiding it, and that her fear was that if she went to a real therapist, she would lose control. There is no other explanation for what occurred on that scenario. No. For the other one, you saying you would respond differently to me is like my stepdad showing up and saying, "Son, I wouldn't have beat you so bad if I knew you'd had that autism. That tism, man, it sure made you a bad kid, huh?" You don't discard human decency, or you don't get a get out of jail free pass for being horrible to someone and sending them into a spiral that took years and has taken years to pull out of, with a I didn't know card. Like, you don't, that's not an excuse for mistreatment. Like you don't threaten to take someone's family and cut off all the people in their life because you didn't know they had autism. No, indecency is indecency, and that would have been indecent whether I was regular or not, whether my wife was regular or not. So that is where it is. My wife is going to make her video telling her side of the story from beginning to end. And then we walk away. And if you respond, you respond. If you say sorry and want to make amends, yeah, you have my phone number. Like, this isn't hard. So that is where it is. I hope that updates everybody. Stay tuned for the podcast and things like that. This season is going to be covering a lot of Ihopkc history, a lot of religion history, a lot of the Bible told me so stuff. Debunking a lot of Christian nationalism and things like that. So enjoy. As always, check the description.